Hey there, it's CJ Willie, and today is the day before Christmas, or Christmas Eve day. What better way to celebrate this magical holiday than cracking open some Magic the Gathering? I have in front of me an Adventures in the Forgotten Realms Dungeons & Dragons pre-release kit. I wasn't able to participate in the pre-release event when this set came out, so today I'm going to crack open this pre-release kit, open up all the booster packs, and put together the deck I would have played if I had attended the event. Okay, let's get to cracking. All right, look at the kit. Nice outer art. And then the inside of the kit. I want to be careful and not spoil my pre-release promo. Open it like this. Set that pre-release promo off to the side here. Get into the packs. Dice is hiding down there. All right, it's a black dice speckled with some gray. Pretty cool with the Dungeons and Dragons symbol. Lucky 714. Put the cool divider off to the side here, maybe on top of that. 6 booster packs. Let's bring this back out. Maybe set that right there to the side. Put the die right there. I'm going to get to cracking. Dungeons & Dragons was a set that I really liked. So I'll go slowly through the commons in the first pack and then speed up. All right. Eye of the Beholder, Great Axe, Arcane Investigator, You Come to the Null Camp. I really enjoyed the Dungeons & Dragons flavor text. Herald of Hadar, Ranger's Longbow, You're Ambushed on the Road, You Hear Something on Watch, Owl Bear. Showcase cards I think were okay. I like that they harken back to the Dungeons & Dragons art. Purple Worm, First Uncommon, Blue Dragon, Hamapashar Ruin Seeker. There were quite a few legendary creatures at Uncommon, Rare, and Mythic Rare. And the first rare from the booster pack is Skeletal Swarming. This was a fun card in Limited, both sealed and draft. Didn't do too much in Standard. Have a foil Loathsome Troll, showcase art. And then a mountain and a wolf token. For the first time there was flavor text on basic lands. I'll speed up through the commons in the next pack. First Uncommon, Magic Missile. Drider, great harken back to the story in Dungeons & Dragons. Hunter's Mark. Looks like I've got a cool, oh, awesome. Borderless Planeswalker, Grand Master of Flowers. A foil Hoarding Ogre. Planes and a treasure token. Tell me in the comments section if you participated in the pre-release event and how you did. Dungeon module Evolving Wilds. The lands had a cycle or a parallel of these dungeon modules. First Uncommon is Wizard class. Sort of like an Enchantment Saga. I think I like the class cards a little bit better because they stayed on the battlefield as you activated each level. Burning Hands, Cleric class. And our third rare is Wizard's Spellbook, featuring the die rolling ability, a forest, and a Dungeon of the Mad Mage Goblin token. First uncommon is Blink Dog, showcase art. White Dragon. This was a fun monocolored cycled and both limited and sealed. Draft, I meant. Brunor Battle Hammer. And Treasure Chest is our rare out of the pack. Not the strongest rares I'm getting in this pre-release kit. I think I'd struggle to come up with a decent sealed deck. Hopefully I can pull something better in the last couple of packs. First uncommon is Warlock class. Ingenious Smith. You meet in the tavern, and the rare is Gelatinous Cube. Another fun card in limited. I liked playing it in draft. Swamp and a treasure token. Okay, final pack, and then we'll take a look at the promo. Monk of the Open Hand, first uncommon. Barbarian class. Wandering Troubadour, and the final rare out of our booster pack, Volo Guide to the Monsters showcase rare. This can be a fun card in limited if you can build your deck around it. And then an island, Tomb of Annihilation with the Atropal token on the back. Okay, take a look at what's in the little poster that comes with it, description on how to build a pre-release deck, and Xanathar's Guide to the Dungeons. Xanathar would be a cool card to pull. I actually played it in draft and it was a lot of fun. Get some foiled out dungeon tokens with the Atropal, Skeleton, and Goblin. I guess I'll cheat. Okay, what is my pre-release promo? Delina Wild Mage. Fantastic card to have in a draft or sealed deck. And then an arena code. I don't play arena, so that's a free code for whoever wants it. Tell me in the comments section if you took advantage of this code, and you're welcome. So I've cracked open the packs. Give me a moment. I'm going to clear up this mess and I'll come back with a deck I would have built if I had attended the sealed pre-release event. Okay, I'm back. After going through the cards, I've got two different decks that I could play in a sealed environment. I think that they're relatively equal in power level, but I probably would end up playing this white-blue deck over the green-black deck. I'm going to go through each of them really quickly. So first is the white-blue deck. Monk of the Open Hand is an easy creature to get down on turn 1. It'll come into play later with another card that I'll talk about. Silver Raven, just a 1/1 that lets me scry. There is a little bit of a life gain theme on here, but Dawnbringer Cleric does give me some other options. Arcane Investigator will allow me to draw a card later on, which will play into part of the theme. Blink Dog is just a fun card to block and phase out. Priest of the Ancient Lore goes into my gain a life, plus allows me to draw a card. So there are quite a few cards that will either draw me a card or let me venture into the dungeon. Hama Pashar Ruin Seeker lets my dungeon adventures double. Shortcut Seeker is a dungeon card. Ginny Windseer is a flyer, and flyers will probably win the game because the ground game does get clogged up. Half Monk Elf is more just kind of defensive to get to my top end curve. Veteran Dungeoneer is a strong card, sits on the ground, blocks a lot, lets me get through the dungeon. Another flyer that when it enters can give a bigger creature, another creature flying. Rimshield Frost Giant is just hard to deal with. Ward 3, 4/5 body. Top end of the curve, White Dragon and Blue Dragon. If I can get these up in the air and utilize their ability, I can pretty much shut down my opponent. Core parts of the deck, which are going to be fun, these two class cards. Cleric class runs off of gaining life and helps my creatures get big. Wizard class helps me in the card draw arena. I love those two classes. Spike Pit Trap is really just a destruction spell. I'm light on creature removal. Paladin Shield, flash in, help the defense of my creature. My only other creature destruction, and it's conditional, I gotta have a creature attacking me. Contact the other plane is just simple card draw. And Grandmaster Flowers, I think, is going to be key. If I can get him down, protect him, add loyalty, eventually I'm gonna have a 7/7 indestructible dragon. And if I haven't been able to play Monk of the Open Hand yet and it's sitting in my deck, that's one of the +1 abilities to get him up to 7 loyalty. I think this deck is a pretty strong deck. It's a little bit more creature heavier than what I would typically play in white-blue, but I think that the top end of the curve, if I can let the game go a little bit longer, is gonna bode well in my favor. Okay, now the black-green deck is a typical just creature smash in your face. The Dryad helps me get a basic land and ramp toward some of my bigger spells. Horde Robber, I don't know that he'll be dealing much damage. Pretty hard for a 1/3 for 2 to deal damage, but can get me a treasure token, helps me in the ramp. Null Hunter is just a solid 2/2 for 2. Death Touch puts the ground game on lock mode. Vampire Spawn gets me some life, chips away at their life total. Sylvan Shepherd, just kind of a body till I can get to the bigger creatures. Clattering Skeletons will come in later as they tie into my bomb rare, if you want to call it that way, but a 4/3 body that when they die I can venture through the dungeon. Manticore is a way of creature destruction. If I can get my opponent to make a bad attack or block, flash a Manticore and I can destroy that creature. Wandering Troubadour lets me venture based upon land entering the battlefield, which I should have plenty. Gelatinous Cube is one of the rares in this deck. Enters the battlefield, I exile a creature. It's conditional that that creature will come back if Gelatinous Cube leaves the battlefield, but I can use the dissolve ability to get rid of the creature permanently, whether Gelatinous Cube stays on the battlefield or not. Herald of Hadar, just kind of a life gain, life loss card. Drider, Reach, and if I'm able to deal some combat damage, it's going to give me a 2/1 spider creature token with Menace and Reach. To the bigger end of the curve, Loathsome Troll, it's a 6/2. I can use the rolling ability to save it from the graveyard. Owlbear, trample for 4/4, nets me a card when it enters the battlefield. Baleful Beholder at 6 mana, just a great creature to come in, forces my opponent either to sack an enchantment, maybe a troublesome class they're playing against me, or I just give my creatures Menace until end of turn and go in for the victory. Purple Worm is something I can ramp into, or I wait for the Morbid ability, throw it in there, then I've got an 8/7 body with Ward. Warlock class, I'm going to have my opponent losing life, so it's going to help me move through the levels, and potentially at the end I could use the last ability to double a damage effect. Instants and sorceries, Bull Strength is just a basic win combat. Compelled Duel telegraphs what I'm going to do, but I could say slap it on my Death Toucher and take out one of their meaningful creatures. Hunter's Mark is a fight card. If I'm playing a blue deck, that means I only have to pay 1 green and it can't be countered. So in the right situation, strong card. You Meet in a Tavern is either a mass creature effect, all of my creatures get +2/+2, or if I'm in need of creatures, I look at the top 5 cards and put any creatures into my hand. Got a ton of creatures, so that card will work out well. Eyes of the Beholder takes out any creature in the format unless they happen to have hexproof. And then the card that is the bomb, the Skeletal Swarming. This card by itself can take over the game. Creatures are going to die. The Morbid ability is going to kick in. Even if the token that I created dies, I'm going to get 2 more skeletons out of the deal. And I've got these 2 skeletons in my deck already. I've just seen this card by itself win games. Anyway, those are the 2 decks that I would have put together on pre-release. I'm not sure which deck I would have played. I probably would have leaned toward blue-white, but the black-green deck looks like fun. Tell me in the comments section what deck you would have played. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, when I'm back to crack some more Magic the Gathering. Merry Christmas!